Hey everyone, it's Deedy. Good afternoon and welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are a previous viewer. Today I'm here to give my personal review of last night's history making first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I didn't react to it, but I did view it last night, so I'm here just to again give my review of it. Um, as far as what I thought about the match before I actually get into the result, uh, the match itself, it was good for what it was. I'll say that. You know what I mean? Like it was okay. I don't want to undermine it, but I don't want to overrate it either. It wasn't all that great in my opinion, to be honest. Um, but I still definitely think they did okay for what it was. Like, for what they had to work with, like nothing was sloppy. It just maybe I don't know, maybe my expectations were a little high. I don't want to, disappoint anyone or sound like a Debbie Downer when I say this, but it wasn't as exciting as I perhaps thought it maybe would have been. But I guess I also have to consider the women who were in the match, not trying to, discredit any women, but I mean, if we're just going to be honest, all of the women who were in the match weren't exactly elite level women as far as competitors in the ring and skill level. So I guess I could have only expected so much. And it is, like I said, it was the very first. So I want to also be easy in the sense that, you know, not, like I said, have too high of expectations. Blah. Get my words together. Um, Excuse the background noise if you hear it. That's my video game WWE 2K17. Yes, Naomi won. Anyways, yeah. So, like I said, that's how I felt about the match. It was okay. Um, as far as the results, now I know that this is very controversial for a lot of people. They don't like how Carmella won. They don't have a problem with the fact that Carmella won. A lot of people actually predicted that Carmella would win. I didn't predict that she would win just because I felt as though I wasn't too confident. I knew that WWE were high on Carmella, but I didn't think that they were that high on her that they would give her that much of a history making moment. And I just figured, it would have kind of been a way to kind of give Becky that storyline to turn heel. Not that she needed it to have her turn heel in the future, but I just thought that maybe that would be a smart way to kind of build towards something like that. But I had absolutely no problem with Carmella winning, especially after someone, I forgot the name of the YouTuber, I'm not sure if they're subscribed to me or not, but they had commented on my prediction video for Money in the Bank, and they shared their predictions with me and why they felt as though Carmella would win. And once I saw it from their perspective, I was able to, kind of come to peace with, okay, if Carmella won, that would be okay, even though I guess she wouldn't have been my first choice. But the controversial thing is that a lot of people have a problem with is how she won, because James Ellsworth climbed the ladder and got the briefcase for her. Now, what I want to say is I definitely do understand where a lot of fans are coming from as far as that, because I know a lot of fans just, they don't like when the spotlight from the women basically is taken from the men of the show, because it's like they already have most of the spotlight, during these shows, and, whenever it's time for the women to be showcased, they just want the women to have that spotlight. And I get that. And I get how I guess it just defeated the purpose of the whole match. I definitely get exactly where the fans are coming from. However, personally, I don't have that much of a problem with it. I honestly feel like it did exactly what it was supposed to do. It garnered heat. Whether it was real heat or you want to call it the fake cheap heat that it's supposed to get, however you want to refer to it, whatever type of heat you want to call it got heat, and I believe that that's exactly what it was supposed to do. James Ellsworth climbing that ladder. You guys have to remember, I know that a lot of people are stressing the whole rule thing, but you guys have to remember, the commentator stress in these types of matches and ladder matches and Money in the Bank matches, there's no rules. There are no rules. There's no disqualifications. So therefore, anything goes. Like, yeah, interference can happen. And in this case, James Ellsworth interfered. He grabbed the Money in the Bank briefcase and he handed it to Carmella, a competitor who was in the match. So either way, it worked out. I mean, I know it's like it's an underwhelming result. I get that, but I get it for storyline purposes. It garnered heat, and that was the whole point. They're heels. I know some people don't care, you know what I mean, about that. They just still feel like it's bullcrap. But I'm just saying personally, I feel as though I understand it. And you guys have to respect, you know, opinions that come from that perspective as well, because I noticed that these days a lot of fans, who I really like to kind of refer to as the true smarts these days, you know, they like to call fans stupid and say, you know, that things don't make sense and just basically degrade them for their point of view. But it's like, you guys have to understand that at the end of the day, everyone is not going to think like you, and it's not necessarily about fans being sheep or, oh, they just fall for anything the WWE does. Sometimes people just, I really don't see a problem with what you guys complain about. And I mean, to be honest, you know, there's been a lot of complaining going on lately about the product, and I'm just going to keep it real. To be honest, just like a lot of fans also say, if you don't like it, why do you watch? I mean, it's as simple as that. No one forces you to watch it. It's definitely voluntary. I'm not going to sit here and act as if I'm satisfied with the product all the time. I mean, obviously, if you go a few videos back in my videology, as I like to call it, I have an Alexa Bliss rant because I didn't like the fact that she won the Raw Women's title. A lot of people liked the fact that she won the Raw Women's title. But this is my point. Different opinions, different perspectives. And us as wrestling fans, we just have to do better, and we have to understand that not everyone is going to think like us, and it is okay to have different opinions. And I, for one, don't have a problem with anyone having a different opinion than me. I am more than willing to have debates, conversations, as long as they're civilized. We have to all respect one another, and I cannot stress that enough. So as far as Carmella winning this Money in the Bank, like I said, I don't have a problem with it, whatever. I get it for storyline purposes. It's weird because I have mixed feelings, only because I feel like whenever anyone wins a Money in the Bank, they're basically guaranteed to be the next champion of whatever division. So the idea of Carmella being the next SmackDown Women's Champion is just honestly something I can't get with right now. Similar to Alexa Bliss, I mean, I do believe that Alexa Bliss is better than Carmella in the ring. I will give Alexa that much of a pass. But I still feel like Carmella herself, she's not ready to win a title right now. That's just my opinion. I know some people may disagree and they may feel like her character, and you know, that's been the argument that's been pissing me off a lot lately. Everyone's been talking about character and promo skills, and I understand that ring work is not what it's all about in WWE, but at the same time, personally, the type of fan I am, it is what matters the most to me. This is a wrestling company, okay? I mean, I feel like personality, mic skills, that's what acting is for, comedy, you know what I mean? Those are other very specific career outlets that you can find people for and appreciate them for. When I watch WWE, I want to see talented performers who are competing at an elite level. And I'm not knocking anyone who isn't necessarily at a level that I personally consider to be elite, but I'm not going to sit here and overrate them and say that I want them to win title after title when I don't see them as that, you know, again, my opinion. So I just feel as though Carmella isn't there yet. Not saying that she can be one day, I just don't see it right now. However, at this rate, I feel like it's possible. In a weird way, the reason why I'm also saying I have mixed feelings is because a part of me kind of wants her to win the title now, just because I feel like, this women's Money in the Bank, it needs to pay off in a big way. And because I guess maybe the match and the result was debatably underwhelming, we need a big payoff. And I feel like maybe the big payoff would be Carmella winning. I feel like it would be more so of a payoff for her to win the SmackDown Women's title than to lose it. It would just be a joke then. And I feel as though at that rate, we probably wouldn't even get another one for next year. And I do want this to be an annual thing for the women now. Regardless of why I didn't give a fuck if the match was a flop or not, I'm here for women's wrestling. There's always a second chance. And now that they started it, I want them to keep it going. Don't start something and don't finish it. Whatever. I guess Carmella will be our next SmackDown Women's Champion. It's not necessarily a guarantee because, again, the contract is for a 1-year deal, and Naomi could lose the title to anyone else on the roster. In the meantime, we never know how this thing may play out, but more than likely, I feel like it'll go from Naomi to Carmella, and I feel like even when Carmella does win it, which will probably be due to a big assist from James Ellsworth, I don't believe she'll have a long title run. And on top of that, I feel like like I said, again, there's a possibility that Carmella may not win when she cashes in. And I feel like that may also be the opportunity for her to turn on James Ellsworth if maybe he tries to help her and then fucks up somehow. There's all sorts of ways this could go. It's no way I feel like to really pinpoint and predict it. I'm just throwing things out there. I know it's been tweeted out and announced and everything that SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan is returning after just becoming a new father-in-law to Birdie, Bree, and Daniel's new baby born little girl. And Shane McMahon, they're going to address the results of Money in the Bank. And I'm very curious to see how they address it and what they'll say. I doubt that Carmella will lose it, but I just don't know how they'll be reprimanded for that. I don't know what they'll do. It'll be very interesting to find out. That's why I say at this point you can't even predict. You just gotta wait and see. But of course, I wanted to come in and let you guys know that I am keeping up with what's going on and how I feel about everything. So that's that. Naomi versus Lana for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I watched the match. It was okay. It was kind of underwhelming. Lana, she did okay. I guess she did, honestly, as good as I thought she would do. I didn't think she would really do horrible. I thought it was a possibility. But I thought that at best, I guess that's probably what we would have got. I didn't really expect anything great from Lana. So I'm not saying that she did horrible, but it was just like, man. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't nothing special. With that being said, I'm very happy that Naomi retained because I would have been very upset if she would have lost the title to Lana like that. That would have been underwhelming. And I'm not going to lie, I did think that was a possibility when the title match was announced just because I thought that maybe the WWE were kind of not satisfied with Naomi's reign and high on Lana and just wanted to have this big old shock factor for the pay-per-view. Either way, I wouldn't have been here for it, and I'm glad they didn't do it. I don't even want Lana to get it in the future. No, whatever, if she gets a rematch, cool, I don't care. You can rematch her all you want, but I do not want Lana winning that SmackDown Women's title from Naomi. So, again, glad Naomi retained. I know she still has a lot of haters, but who gives a fuck? She's still champion, and she's getting a decent reign as far as length. Alright, I guess whatever, it's not the most exciting reign, but whose fucking reign is the most exciting nowadays? Even the men. It's all lackluster. So that's that. Maria has officially returned to WWE with her husband, Mike Bennett, who is now named Mike Kanellis. He's taking her last name now in character, which I think is very interesting. I am very excited that Maria is back in WWE. I'm aware that she's not the greatest in the ring, and during her previous run, she wasn't a top tier level diva. But, she was around during the era where I was growing up watching women's wrestling. on a weekly basis and loving women's wrestling. And since she's left the company, I know that she's, slightly improved her in-ring work, and she's definitely improved her promo work. I've seen her work in TNA. I've mentioned this before, and I just love her character work as a heel, and I think that she definitely has potential to shake things up in WWE with the women, and I'm just excited to see her back. It's nostalgia for me, as I'm sure it is for most fans. So I can't wait to see what the future holds as far as that. I would love to see something between her and Nikki Bella because of that whole controversial beef between them. So we'll see what happens with all that. I definitely do think that's something that's going to come about soon. Don't forget about Nikki Bella, guys. She is still on the roster. So that's that. And I just wanted to end this video on a high note because I don't think that a lot of you know who may view this, but today is actually the 6-month anniversary of Deedy. It's been officially 6 months since I created this YouTube channel, and it's just so surreal to me. Like, to this day, on a daily basis, it's still surreal to me that I have a YouTube channel. I don't think I'll ever really get over it, because it's something that I imagined, but it's not something that I actually ever thought I would really do, like pursue. Like, I never actually